Let's talk about an unsolved mystery today. I am having such a problem filming this video that it is unreal. I feel like every time I'm trying to get the words out, like I'm stumbling and I just can't get my thoughts to flow right. And so bear with me with this video, but I'm gonna try as hard as I can to get this out. And why can't I just sit in this chair without it spinning? Today I want to talk to you about the Dyatlov Pass Incident. It's a little weird, it's kind of creepy, and to this day it's still an unsolved mystery. So in 1959, a group of hikers set off into the snowy mountains for a hike, I guess. I don't know why you'd want to go hiking in the snow or the cold, but they did. Unfortunately, none of them would return alive. On February 26, 1959, unfortunately a search party did find the bodies of all 9 hikers. But the weird thing is, why did they pass away? So like I said, they sent out a search party, they found the bodies of the 9 hikers, but there were some weird things. For instance, when they got to the campsite, they found that the tent was completely destroyed and that it had been ripped from the inside. So it's kind of weird because whoever was inside the tent, instead of using the door to get out, ripped their way out. I don't know what they were trying to get away from, but why wouldn't they just use the door? Another mysterious thing about the campsite is when they were doing the investigation, they found traces of radiation around the campsite area. Weird, right? Now let's talk about the bodies a little bit. So 2 of the bodies were found in a tree line about a mile away from the campsite. Both of the hikers that had died there were found with nothing on but their underwear, and of course it was said that they had died from hypothermia. 3 more hikers were found between the campsite and the tree line, and there was a little bit more mystery surrounding these 3 because one of them, their skull was fractured, but there was no external trauma. Somehow, their skull was fractured from the inside. Weird again, right? Now the other 4 bodies of the hikers weren't found until like 2 months later, and some of the deaths of these bodies were even weirder. For one of the bodies, the rib cage was crushed. For another one of the bodies, the rib cage was crushed and the tongue was missing. I mean, what's going on? So now we have the tent that was ripped from the inside. We have radiation traces surrounding the tent. We have 9 bodies that have all died from hypothermia. 1 had head trauma from inside. Another one, rib cage was crushed. Another one, the rib cage was crushed and the tongue was missing. So let's get into the mystery behind the story. Why did these people flee from their campsite? Why did they rip their way out of the tent instead of just going through the door? Some people say that maybe there was an avalanche and it blocked the front of the entrance and they had to cut their way out or rip their way out. This is kind of proven false though, because when they were investigating the site, there was no evidence of an avalanche ever occurring. Another theory is that maybe a missile had gone off. This still doesn't explain why they ripped their way out of the tent, and you would think if a missile were coming, they wouldn't really have time to rip their way out of a tent or try to flee or escape in any type of way. You'd think it would just be like, boom, and gone. The weirdest theory is that aliens had killed these people. It would explain why there was radiation found on the campsite, and it would also explain some of the trauma inflicted on these people, because the investigators said that a human wouldn't have been strong enough to inflict the trauma that they had seen. It also should be noted that in the months before this happened, people had reported seeing strange lights within the mountainside. So I don't know, it's still a mystery to this day what happened to these hikers and how they passed away. Of course, the reports say that they all died from hypothermia, but what led them to this point? Why did they try and flee their tent, and why did they have to rip their way out of the tent? Why were some of them found with no clothes on and some found with double layers of clothes? How did the trauma happen to some of the people, and then there were other people that didn't have any trauma done to them? The person that was missing a tongue, it's a mystery. Nobody knows what happened. Nobody knows why these people died. If you've heard about this or have any theories on why you think the hikers had died, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear more about this. It's something that when I read it, I was kind of like, well, what the heck happened to these people? If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.